target miss. A spare round, but no more. That could be crucial at this stage of the race. Remember the final shoot in the standing position. TCHEREZOV, who's had 5 wins on the World Cup already this season, he wasn't even spoken about at the end. Was expecting him to be on this sort of form. I don't think they expected him to get a World Cup win, let alone be leading the overall World Cup. Slightly strange season for the Norwegians, and having a chat with Halvard Hannevold, the veteran who only retired last year, and he was saying that the likes of Svensson and Björndalen were undoubtedly distracted by the Nordic World Championships in Oslo. They all wanted to be there. Björndalen gave up hope when he got ill in Ruhpolding earlier on in the season. Svensson, just 3 days ago, was still hoping, but it's not materialized. Here we go, final shoot. 4 out of 5, you feel, might be good enough if the first spare goes down for TCHEREZOV. Well, that's exactly what's happened now. Mickey GREIS needs to hit all 5. Well, that could be enough for the Norwegians. Now, Mickey, was he saving himself on that last lap, knowing that there was going to be a fight over the last 2.5 kilometers? Well, it's gone down. He's given himself a chance. A margin of 10 seconds might just be too much. Watch the clock. Bo is away. 1:08.39 the time for the Norwegians. Germany, who led for a full 2 legs, now find themselves 14.9 behind. Well, there are many, many men that he can chase down that sort of time. He might even be able to pull that sort of time back on Ole Einar Björndalen. But TCHEREZOV has been the man of the season so far, and he's given himself a very good cushion. Well, that is a smile of confidence you feel for the Norwegian team. Tora Berger set them underway with one of her best relay performances ever. Flatland stuck in there. A very strong performance from her. Björndalen, not perfect, but still very good indeed. Found himself 23 seconds behind, but the star of the show so far, TCHEREZOV. Now, this is still about medals. It's the bronze medal at stake between France and Sweden now. Martin FOURCADE, so consistent. Can he stay focused? Sweden with 2 misses. It's going to be the French. Bergman throws 3 and 4 wide, and now is defending 4th position. How quickly things change. Well, that's a disaster shoot. Staffan Eklund, you can see the disappointment on his face. It's been a fantastic effort from the Swedes. I think really Helena Ekholm will be cursing herself. David Ekholm, her husband, commentating for Eurosport, and he will have found that fairly painful viewing. I know it was the first leg, but even then he will have sensed that with Helena missing 4, requiring 4 spare rounds, so often they rely on her accuracy if Sweden are going to take medals. And now, with a margin of 20 seconds between 3rd and 4th, and Martin FOURCADE to chase down, you feel that they're not going to have it today. Hofer in 5th for Italy. The Italians have been slowly climbing the order. Timo Anttila. Well, he started this leg in 4th position, only 1:45 behind, so he's lost a full minute on this last leg. Russia settling on the firing point. Now, let's hope that Russia with Ivan Cherezov has a 5 out of 5. That will bring the stadium to life, despite the fact that Russia are not going to medal today. The tongue is out, and TCHEREZOV is on his way. Under 2 kilometers to go. Pete Beyer trying to stick in behind him. Fantastic effort from Pete Beyer. Well, that's exactly what we wanted. And Cherezov, who started this leg in 9th position, is going to come out in 6th, and it is a respectable result. But he's so far behind Lukas HOFER of Italy. There is absolutely no chance of Russia improving on that position. And TCHEREZOV is going to have a race on his hands, because Suman and Abramenko, both very quick skiers on form, and Semenov of Ukraine is there as well. Well, Arnd PEIFFER, one of the main men in the German team, a very good performance, and also took that 3rd leg for Germany. Took a little bit of time out of Ole Einar Björndalen on the last lap, took 4 seconds out of Björndalen on the last 2.5 kilometers. So his confidence will be high. We're hoping to have a chat with him in a few seconds' time. Gurno is down there trying to get Arnd PEIFFER. Here he is.
Ja, erstes Fazit, erster Wettkampf jetzt in den Beinen. Wie ist die Form? Wie ist es gelaufen?
Also läuferisch habe ich mich sehr wohl gefühlt heute. Das war auch so ein bisschen Unsicherheit.
So your first result, how did it go?
Am Schießstand, sag ich mal so,
PEIFFER saying, I felt good, which is surprising because I've not been 100% over the last few days. Says shooting could be better.
Ist schon, glaube ich, sehr wichtig,
he thought Henkel and Neuner, the 2 German women, did a fantastic race. And he's saying it's so important to get a good start at the World Championships. It lifts the whole of the team, not just those who've raced, but the rest of the team as well. And now we can relax a little, prepare for the rest of the races. And if we take a medal, we'll be totally delighted.
Also welche Farbe ist erstmal nicht so entscheidend, aber so eine Medaille im ersten Rennen wäre
to the question, it's very important, and no one's going to disagree with that. But getting the gold medal, well, there's only one team that can win the first race, and it is the Norwegians, who've had a fantastic history here in Khanty-Mansiysk. It's been a wonderful effort from them, but there have been shaky moments. But we've learned 1 or 2 things today. One is that Tora Berger is on sensational form, and so is Terje Boe. He looked tired in the United States, but he has excelled himself here today with a fantastic performance, pulling back a margin of 21.9 seconds on Mickey GREIS. There are very few men in the world who can do that, and very few who can hope to do that. A sensational run. So gold for Norway, silver for Germany. Henkel, Neuner, PEIFFER, GREIS. It sounds like a winning combination, and at one stage, at the end of the 3rd leg, it certainly looked as though it was going to be a winning combination. But they've been outskied and outshot on the final leg by one Terje Boe, the youngest in the Norwegian team and the best. Well, that's nice to see. The French, well, they start with a medal, and it's the bronze. Maybe not what they were hoping for at the beginning of today. With Simon FOURCADE not on his best form, it really all fell down to Martin, and he was the one who won the battle of the minor nations. A really good performance from him, especially on the shooting range. France with just 8 spare rounds. The best shooting, well, it's the winners, Norway. 7 spare rounds required in all. 6 last year by Germany to win. 7 this year in much tougher conditions. Sweden, some say it's the worst of all. Well, they'll be delighted to be in 4th rather than 5th, 6th or 7th. But they were so close. It was that last shoot, really, that let them down. But one penalty loop, and they've still managed to take the 4th position ahead of Italy. Good race by the Italians. That's going to be a confidence booster without a doubt. Ponza, Haller, Di Lorenzi and HOFER have certainly delighted some of the Italian fans here with a top 5 finish. One of the potential gold medalists, the host nation Russia. A race to forget, you might suggest. But if you take away their first leg run by Svetlana SLEPTSOVA, and she, remember, finished down in 21st position. Just looking to see how far she was. 2 minutes 31 off the leaders at that stage. And after that sort of a start, they knew that it was never going to be the gold medal for them. Credit to the crowd, they've risen to the occasion, but they desperately wanted to see a Russian in the medal ceremony tonight, taking place down in the town centre at the Medal Plaza. Well, if they want to draw some positives, it's the fact that Ivan Cherezov has put in a very good performance. 3:08 behind. Remember, they were 2.5 minutes behind after the first leg. So all in all, had it gone right for ZAITSEVA, they certainly would have been looking at medals today. Ukraine, respectable in 8th. The Austrians coming back after a poor start as well, finishing in 7th. And with the Austrians with such a weak women's team, that's a very good run. Good work from Landertinger and Suman. Belarus, who started with Skavdino and Domracheva. Good race from Domracheva, certainly medal potential for her this week. Novikov and Abramenko finally bringing them across the line. 3:54 behind. It takes them around 2.5 minutes to complete a kilometre. So in distance terms, you can see just how far behind they are. The Czech Republic, who've had a couple of good mixed relays so far this year. But when they saw the lineup from the big teams, they knew it was going to be tough. Vitkova, Sukalova, Vitek and Moravec. No Mikhail Schlesinger, who's been one of the strongest amongst the Czech teams so far this year. Other news that we ought to pass on, Jakub Fak, who of course medalled out in Vancouver last year. He's had to withdraw from the World Championships. I don't think we're going to see him again this year. He picked up frostbite on his trigger finger out in Fort Kent in USA when it was -15, -16. He thought it was safe to race without the trigger finger covered. Evidently, it was not. And 4 or 5 days after racing, his trigger finger started to go black. So he's now getting hyperbaric treatment, oxygen treatment, to try and aid the recovery of that finger before he comes back in action. But that is going to be a problem that plagues him for the rest of his biathlon career. And bad news for the Slovenian, who's been a wonderful competitor over the last couple of years. (1:14.22) the winning time. It's almost 4 minutes quicker than Germany's winning time last year. Well, it shows you that the snow isn't running that slowly. All the athletes are complaining, but Norway won't worry too much about that. They have taken the first gold of the championships. Here are Slovenia, Klemen Bauer taking their last leg today. Slovenia with 2 penalty loops in all. They've actually shot very well. Behind, in fact 3 penalty loops by the end of the race, and 17 missed shots in all, so they've struggled with the conditions. Well, there's plenty of action coming up over the next few days. Of course, the sprints are the next away on Saturday. Those are European times, and Khanty-Mansiysk some 4 hours ahead of Europe, 5 hours ahead of the UK. So 8:45 for the men's sprint if you're watching in the UK. Sunday, the pursuit. Of course, the start of that is based on the results of the sprints. Whoever wins the sprint has got a fantastic opportunity to double up with gold here in Khanty. Is it going to be another day for the Norwegians? Well, with what we've seen today, Terje Bo and Tora Berger are on sensational form. Fantastic run for them. Germany taking the silver, and a good run by the French.